Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, we are from the seventh group. We will presentate our analysis about a poem with the title My Mistress' Eyes Are Nothing Like the Sun, or Sonnet 130 by William Shakespeare. Next, let's us introduce ourselves. Okay, start with the first.
My name is Anisa Gita Cahyaningtyas and my student number is A320180255.
My name is Rembulan Arso Kusuma. My student number is A320180256.
My name is Lutfi Kusumaningrum and my student number is 8320180260.
My name is Risda Rohmatul Kasanah and my student number is 8320180261.
My name is Marwa Salsabila and my student number is A320180262.
Okay, and the last is me. My name is Alfiah Oktarika Nurul Khasanah. My student number is A320180278.
The element of poetry as follow: 1. Form or structure. 2. Sound of device, such as rhythm, rhyme, scheme, alliteration, or consonant or assonant. Onomatopoeia, repetition. 3. Imagery. 4. Figurative language. 5. Mood or tone. And the last, theme.
And this is the poem.
Form or structure. A sonnet is a poem of 14 lines that follows a strict rhyming pattern. Shakespeare didn't invent the form, but he did help popularize it. Shakespeare's sonnets are written in iambic pentameter. This is a name for a certain pattern of beats called feet. Pentameter means that each line is divided up into 5 feet. In each word, there is one stressed syllable. In iambic pentameter, the rhythm goes unstressed, stressed. Sometimes this is pattern change, which can tell you something about the importance of the line. Sonnet 130 follows the rhythm scheme A B A B C D C D E F E F and G G. Sound of device. The first, rhythm. Rhythm is a pattern of beats or stress in a poem. Both use pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables to create a regular rhythm. You can see in the PowerPoint. Examples means eyes, not, like, sun, cold, far, red, lips red, snow, white, then, breeze, dawn, hairs, wires, black, crow, hat, eye, row, jam, red, white, no, row, she, in, chicks. Rhyme scheme. The rhyming pattern that is created at the end of lines of poetry. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. A. Coral is far more red than her lips red. B. If snow be white, why then her braids are done. A. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. B. I have seen rose damask, red and white. C. But no such rose see I in her cheeks. D. And in some perfume is there more delight. C. Than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. T. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know. E. That music had a far more pleasing sound. F. I grant I never saw a good as go. E. My mistress when she walks treads on the ground. F. And yet, by heaven, I think my love as rare. G. As Anis Sebald with false compare G. Next, alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds at the beginnings of words. The first line, alliteration, my mistress. Third line, white wine. Fourth line, wears black wears. 5. Rose damask red. 6. Such rose see. 8. Done in the breed that. 9. Her. 11. Grand goddess go. 12. My mistress when she walks.
Assonance. When the same or similar vowels in words are close together in a line or phrase. For the example, line 1, my, eyes, like. Line 2, coral, more. Line 3, then, breasts. Line 4, hairs, her. Line 5, have, gems. Line 6, see, chicks. Line 7, in, is, the like. Line 8, than, that. Line 9, here, speak, yet, well. Line 10, that, hath. Line 13, yet, haven't. Consonants. Repetitive sound produced by consonants in the middle or end of words in a phrase or sentence. Line 1, mistress, eyes. Line 2, coral, far, more, red, her. Line 3, snow, breast, her, are. Line 4, hairs, wires, grow, her. Line 5, damask, red, and seen, roses. Line 6, such roses, see, chicks. Line 7, some, and perfumes. The next one is repetition. Repetition is the repeating of a particular sound device to create an effect. First, the repetition of the words red in line 2 because it is the color associated with love. Coral is far more red than her lips red. It is used to highlight the futility of comparing things which turn out to be fundamentally different. Red is applied to coral, lips, and roses. Roses is used both literally and figuratively, or the supposed roses in a woman's cheeks. Second, the repetition of the word wires in line 4. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. Black is applied to wires and hair. The repetition also perhaps conveys a tone of disbelief at how such absurd exaggeration could ever be sincere. Third, the repetition of the pronoun I in line 9 and 11. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know. And I grant I never saw a goddess go. Fourth, the repetition of far more in line 2 and 11. Coral is far more red than her lips red. Then, that music had a far more pleasing sound. Fifth, the repetition of the possessive pronoun my 4 times in the sonnet emphasized the speaker's ownership of the moment. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun, in line 1. Than the breath that from my mistress reeks, in line 8. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground, in line 12. And yet, by heaven, I think my love is rare, in line 13.
Imagery. Poet use words that appeal to the reader's sense of sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. Similar. William Shakespeare's sonnets are full of beautiful and striking simile. In Sonnet 130, he used strong indirect simile as follows. 1. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. The poet used a direct comparison between his mistress' eye and the sun. 2. Coral is far more red than her lips red. The poet compares his mistress' lip to red coral. 3. If snow be white, why then her beads are done? In this line, Shakespeare is so satirical and avoid a direct simile. In this line, play used color to convey his idea. He used white as a symbol of purity and virginity, and the mistress' bead looked dirty. For I have seen roses dames red and white, but no such roses see I in the cheeks. Here, the poet compared cheeks with rose, but he can see rose in his mistress' cheek. 5. And in some perfume is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. This line perceive things with their smell. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know the music had a far more pleasing sound. In this line, perceive things with their sound. And the last, I grant I never saw a gorgeous go. In the previous line, we have another similar where the poet say that his mistress trait is like a goddess. This line perceive things with her sight.
Figurative language. Scam and tropes in the sonnet. Scams are figures of speech that deal with letters, word order, syntax, and sounds rather than meaning of the word. And then tropes. A trope is a feature of speech that has a different meaning from its literal meaning. In this poem, scam, there is anaphora. It is a scam that means the repetition of the same word or group of words at the beginning of successive clauses or sentences. In this poem, the anaphora are my mistresses, there is two, and then if there is two, and then I, there is three, and then and there is two. Line 7 begins with the verb grounded conjunction, and so we anticipate more comparison. And the next, antithesis. Antithesis is a scam that makes use of constructing words, phrases, sentences, or ideas for emphasis. Shakespeare's Sonnet 130 begins with a quatrain that is filled with antithesis and makes good use of caesurs. So, in Sonnet 130, Shakespeare used antithesis as a useful poetic device to convey his much more rate. Her breasts are done and black wires spring from her head. Here is the example. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. The poet used the word mistress as an indication to his beloved woman. And then coral is far more red than her lips red. It is mean that he say that the actual red coral is literally more red than her lips. And then in the line, if snow be white, why then her breasts are done? It means that the woman does not have white skin or golden hair, which were both things that were beautiful features for women. And the next tropes is a feature of speech that has a different meaning from its literal meaning. Tropes In this sonnet, Shakespeare expresses his dislike of the way that most poets follow when they write their sonnets, which are about the beauty of the lover. Truth in this sonnet is hyperbole. It is composed of exaggerated words or ideas used from emphasis and not to be taken literally. Shakespeare decided to take the similes and metaphors in this sonnet in the other direction, where he exaggerated his love weakness rather than his strength.
Mood or tune. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun's. Can be stated as a sadness poem that is dominated by the words or phrase or sentence giving sadness explanation, such as my mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Line 1. But no such rose see I in her cheeks. Line 6. And I grant I never saw a goddess go. Line 11. I have hacked like the clicked description of eyes, lips, and breaths that Shakespeare mocked in his opening lines. Coral is far more red than her lips red. Line 2. If snow be white, why then his breaths are done. Line 3. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. Line 4. And pleasant feelings, I love to hear her speak, yet will I know. Line 9. That music had a far more pleasing sound. Line 10. His reasoning is defying this celestial Clyde's description becomes clear when he sigh. I grant I never saw a goddess go. Line 11. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground. Line 12.
His mocking, however, turns a divine and protective tone in a final couplet. And yet, by heaven, I think my love as rare as she belied with false compare. He explains that she doesn't need a false comparison to prove how deep and true her love is according to how she feels. The last one is theme. The theme carried out in 130 Shakespeare sonnet is women and femininity. The poem is talking about female beauty and how public's expectation and stereotypes about the way women ought to look. The poet is praising women's beauty by comparing to the beautiful things in nature such as snow, roses, and etc. using imaginary. The lines on the poem are very well symbolize the poet's true admiration for the mistress and her looks.
Okay, this is the end of the presentation. Thank you for your attention and sorry for our mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.